Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Besthetician podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the biggest fears and how to overcome them when you start your business as a solo esthetician. This is something that we personally have a lot of experience in because we started our business with 0 clients in a new town, not knowing a single soul.
Yep. Yeah. So I'd say, we can talk through, I guess the first thing are some of the biggest fears of going solo. I'm of course, the biggest one is just failure. People being afraid that if they start, they're going to fail. And I think, I don't know, should we break down each fear first, or do you want to go through some of the fears?
Yeah. So the first thing that I think of when we first went solo is how are we going to make enough money to pay the rent and get clients in the door? And I think that's one of the biggest fears that we have. If you came from a previous spot and you're worried about clients following you, they will. Whoever loves you will find you. So that's a fear that you need to leave behind, and new clients will come. I promise you. It will take time and patience. But when you're starting your business and you, let's say for us, for instance, we had 0 clients, what can you do to be proactive to get clients in the door? Because our biggest thing was we went solo. We literally had no clients, and our first month was free. That was our mindset. Okay, we have 1 month to get at least 5 clients in the door. So what are you doing to get those clients in the door? How are you marketing yourself? You cannot be lazy when you're first starting. You have to post every single day. You have to get Google reviews, those little ways that you can build your business. But something that I really want to talk about, if you don't have anything else to say, is cold DM outreach. That's what saved us in the beginning. And don't be afraid to look quote unquote desperate or silly. It obviously it has to be authentic. It has to feel genuine when you're sending these things. But I want to talk about our cold DM that we sent when we first started.
Yeah, I think going back to one of the fears of finding clients, I would just, kind of reiterate that there's a million ways to do it. And there's a lot of ways that can be successful and that we've proven to be successful, and that we've talked to a lot of other estheticians of how that you can find success. So that first fear of not being able to find clients that say, I'm not good at Instagram, or I'm not good at this, or I'm not good at that. There is a lot of niches in marketing that can work for you specifically. We can go in on our cold DM strategy. But I do want to say, I talk about Skin by Jacqueline all the time, or Skin by Jack. But she mentioned her way that she got clients in the beginning was all referrals, and that she had a really good group of people that were seeing her. I don't know if she mentioned out of her house for a little while, and kind of slowly built before she went solo, of a lot of people that were interested in getting services by her, if it was waxing or brows. I don't remember what she was doing first. But hers was all based off of referral and building it before she took the leap of going solo. And I think she mentioned too that she probably would have went solo. She should have went solo before she actually did, because she was just scared as well. And when she finally did take the leap, she had a big group of clients, and she didn't have to do any outside marketing at all. And that was her focusing on the friends and family, or friends of friend that she was already seeing. That way she was providing a really good experience for them, so that when she went solo and had her own suite and opened up her schedule, they were just happier to have more availability when it came to booking.
That's a really good point, because you can definitely build before you go solo, and you can that's the beauty of every person's journey, is that it looks different for every single person. And I just hear her story. I'm like, wow, that was really cool that she was able to build as she was going to take that step to go solo. So it made her feel comfortable. So whatever gives you the fuel to keep going, or even I've talked to other estheticians, they worked a waitress job while they were opening up their business. And there is nothing wrong with that. I think it's whatever lets you sleep at the end of the day, but you have to go into this blood, sweat, and tears. Every single person that I've talked to, it's rare that you find somebody that just it fell on their lap and they're successful. They they worked hard to get to where they are today.
And it's different for every person. And I think if just be careful of what you see on Instagram or anywhere, even on YouTube right now. There's no kind of one size fits all when it comes to marketing, and it's just different for every single person. And we've learned that over the years. And when we first started, we were like, tell everyone they should post 4 times a day, and that's the best way to do it, and that's how you get clients. And the more we've talked to people, we have a unique skill that works really well for us. And we built our foundation on something that was really comfortable and something that we could do really consistently. consistently. And I've talked to a lot of amazing estheticians out there that have maybe used like Facebook groups as a good way to go out and find clients. There's all these unique strategies and unique ways, and you just need to go out and hunt for which one feels, I don't want to say most comfortable, but something that you feel like you can replicate and do over and over and over again. And nowadays, there's so many different social medias. Pick one and go after it. I mean, there's TikTok now. If you feel like, well, Instagram is too clean and polished and I like to just throw stuff out, I can make 5 pieces of content a day. If I put on Instagram, they all flop, and then maybe TikTok's a platform for you. I mean, we haven't tested Twitter yet. I'm sure there's an esthetician out there somewhere that's booked clients off Twitter as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many social platforms. There's Facebook groups. There's friends and families. There's bachelorette parties. There's
make sure
in-house.
you have that in your intake form too, of where you're asking where your clients are coming from. So you can study
so
it.
You can find out. Yeah. And then you go out and chase that strategy down. But I just wanted to say that I do believe that, with all the information out there, there's a lot of people going, this is how you book clients. If you do this, you will become a fully booked esthetician, or you will book a bunch of clients. And yes, all those strategies can work. And I'm not against any of them, because what worked for us did work for us, but that might not work for the next esthetician because she has a hard time creatively coming up with 4 Instagram posts a day. Right. And there's just all these different ways. I mean, cold DMing, I went off on a lot of tangents here, but I just kind of wanted to open that up for people to know this cold DMing strategy worked really well for us. And I think that's an easy one that no matter who you are, you can go do, which is why we like the strategy a lot, because you don't have to be an expert at creating amazing content. You don't have to be an expert at getting into Facebook groups, right? You don't have to be an expert at anything. You just need your phone. You need an Instagram. You need some before and afters up on your Instagram, some pictures of you, and go after a cold DM. So yeah, sorry, I went off on quite a tangent there, but you can jump back into cold DMing now.
If you have been listening to all of our podcasts, what you'll find is that you see that every single esthetician that we speak to has a different story. So you have to always take information, retain it, and see how it applies to your practice, and try these things. Maybe listen to a podcast, or maybe listen to our Patreon videos and say, let me try these few things. And don't just try it once, guys. There has to be multiple efforts in your business, because if I would have just tried one time and I gave up because it didn't work, that's not trying.
Yep.
So make sure you take this information, see how it can apply to your business, take these podcasts as inspiration, and for you to really just build and become the flourishing solo esthetician, or whatever you're doing in your business. And I hope that that all these podcasts are helpful, because we really want to help other estheticians. And we've talked to so many estheticians that are part of our Patreon, and that it has changed their business because of, they didn't know that they should have a Google My Business in their, and how that's so important.
Yep. And let's remember too, I mean, touching on that topic, that nothing is going to work right away. There's no strategy that worked right away. It didn't work right away for us.
Yeah.
So to go, and even in 90 days, right? There's no 60 days. There's no set amount of time that it works in this amount of time. Consistency compounds. So whatever you're going to do, when we sent cold DMs, we sent, I'm not kidding, hundreds of DMs. There were days that we were maxing out. Instagram said you cannot send DMs anymore, because we were sending 60, 70, sometimes 100 DMs a day if Instagram let us. And some days we wouldn't get one single response, right? So that consistency compounded though, because then there was a time where we were 3 months into business and somebody would find a DM from literally 3 months before and go, so sorry, I just saw this. I'd love to come in. And we were able to book clients because of a DM 3 months ago. And that's the same thing with Instagram posts. It's the same thing with Google reviews. It's the same thing when it comes to you focusing on rebuilding your website, or paying for somebody to build a website. Like we recommend, we have an amazing website guy, an SEO team that helps us build. But when we first paid and went for it, it didn't book the client. The consistency had to compound. So with whatever you're doing, if you're going to jump into a cold DM strategy, if you're going to jump into a Facebook group strategy, if you're going to jump into posting 2 times a day, let the consistency compound. If you're not consistent, it will not compound, right? If it cannot compound, you'll never get the results.
Yeah. And just think, let's say you're starting your business right now. These foundations and the building blocks that you're setting for your business, you're not going to reap the benefits until a year later, truthfully. You're not going to see the full picture and the full, success story, a year later. And you can really take a reflection of that year and see how you can do better, because the first year of business was truly us just figuring out what works best. And that's why we didn't start our Patreon
Yeah.
in the beginning, because we were still figuring things out. And now we can confidently, help others in the industry. Now that we've been in business for 3 years now, which is crazy to even say, but it's so insane to just go through the experience and literally start from scratch and figure out and talk to all these estheticians. And the best estheticians are the ones that are eager to learn more and that are willing to invest in themselves and having a mindset of abundance and having a mindset of this is all or nothing.
Yeah. And thinking about like it not working for a year, I even think about this podcast. I mean, we've been doing this podcast consistently for just about a year now. We do a podcast episode every single week, plus the guest episode. Now we're doing 2. So one of us, one with a guest. And when we first started dropping podcasts, we were getting, when we first started, it was like 7 or 8 views. But, then after the year, it was like 20 or 30 views and just nothing came from it. There's no brand deals. There's nothing, no money involved. And now we're averaging 200 or 300 views. We just got monetized on YouTube, which is crazy. Now is not a lot of money in it yet. We've made our first $30 after, a week and a half of monetization. But, and that's just after 1 full year. We're just getting a little taste that like, hey, there can be something at the end of this, this road that we're on. But this is a 5-year goal we're jumping into now. And even with Skin by You, we're not where we're going to be in 3 years.
Yeah.
We're not rich. We're still paying off debt. We're still paying off our hydrofacial machine. All those big investments that we took in the beginning still haven't fully paid off yet.
I want to talk about that. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I wanted to go really quickly. Hold that thought, because I want to talk about cold DMs really quickly, just in case anybody's wondering. Our cold DM, we won't spend a ton of time talking about it, but it was a very simple DM. We talk about this on Patreon. So if you're not a part of our Patreon, the link is going to be down below. You can go and watch and see our exact text for a cold DM, but giving you kind of a very quick summarized version is that we would say their name at the beginning of the cold DM. Before I sent the cold DM, we would like 3 of their photos on Instagram so it didn't look so sketchy and cold DM-ish. We would say their name, and then we would say, hey, we're a new business here in town. At the time we were offering a special. So, hey, we have a $99 facial, which don't know if I'd fully recommend. You could just offer $50 off a hydrofacial. I don't know. You have to go to our Patreon to learn more about what special or what offer you would make for that cold DM. We made it very personalized and we made it more of like we're looking for people to connect with and we're growing a business rather than like you see cold DMs all the time that you just immediately delete. And we made our DM not feel like that. And if
not
people,
like a robot, it was personable.
It didn't feel like a robot is a big thing. And if people didn't book the appointment and just were like, hey, congratulations on starting a business, we still made a connection with those people. And that also was a building block to the business because those people, years later, we've gotten referrals from people that we cold DM that never even came in, but they'd refer somebody to us.
Again, building blocks to the first year of your business.
So and at the time, it didn't feel very good. It took a year to go like, I'm so glad we did it. Yeah. But I kept looking at the camera. I don't know why I'm still staring over there. But I don't know. After a year later, we realized like, wow, how incremental that was and how important it was for our business to do that and make those connections in the community.
People can really smell sales though. So I will say our cold DM really set us apart because I had multiple clients that came in from my cold DM that were like, I'm not kidding. I usually delete every single, cold DM that I see, but yours was special and yours is why I actually moved forward. And another thing too was they said that your page looked so presentable. It looked really professional, which is really important. You can't send cold DMs and have like 2 posts up or
personal pictures up or selfies or things like that. It has to be
professional, especially when you're building in the beginning. You can build as you grow and all these things, but it's really important for your page to look clean, cohesive, professional, and you can still bring personality into it, of course, but just always stay professional and make sure that things are that if you're looking at your page that you would want to book an appointment with yourself, truly.
Exactly. That was a good speed run through cold DMing. So do you remember your topic still?
I do remember my topic. Okay. Actually, I think it's thanks to my coffee and we're shooting a podcast in the morning.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my next point is going to be the fear of investing in devices, which I think was really scary for me personally. And I'm like, okay, I'm in what to do and what not to do. So for instance, invested in SkinPen way too early in my business because I didn't have the clientele for it. I was like coming from previous med spas and I'm like, oh, these are the tools that I need, but I didn't have the clientele for it yet. So that was a mistake. Okay, that's fine. We all make mistakes in the beginning, lesson learned. So thankfully we are good with that now, but hydrofacial was one device that was a really big investment for me. That was like the first big boy investment that I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. But like I truly believed in it. And I was like, this is like a gateway. This is like the opening step for somebody to like have an advanced treatment and then build off with other services. So for that time, that was like the scariest thing that I could have thought of to invest in at that time. But I did have a base clientele, and I want to talk on that because don't invest in anything until you have a base clientele and you're listening to your clients and saying, hey, I'm thinking about bringing on this device. What are your thoughts? And most people had heard of the device. They were super excited and they were like, heck yeah, sign me up. So I had a base clientele before
you were booking Hydrofacial before the Hydrofacial was there. And we already said yes to it. So it's like it was shipped. But you were building you already asked before we even got it. But then when we did order it, you still were offering, hey, I'll give you $50 off your first Hydrofacial if you pre-book it now as kind of I'm only doing this for 10 special clients. And you already knew because you talked to them, but then that also solidified this was a good idea because you had a good handful of clients that immediately switched over to Hydrofacial and they never turned back to regular facials. But yeah, in that fear of investment, a healthy fear is okay. It is okay to not just jump into things blindly. And I think there's a few ways. I mean, we jumped into Skin Better pretty early. There was there was fear in it because it was really expensive.
But that's like a one-time payment. Like you're making payments on
Hydrofacial for a long time. I mean,
you have, consumables,
we still
you have
are.
supplies.
Yep. So I think, having a healthy fear in things, but also knowing, having the confidence. So you can be afraid, but then be really confident that I know I can sell this. I know my clients are looking for this. I know that they're looking for these results and this is the way to get it. And everybody's going to be different. If you have a good clientele when you go solo, then maybe you're in a different position. I mean, your mentor, Karen Marie, is getting ready to go solo and she probably can bring on Hydrofacial a lot sooner than somebody else. Yes, because she's a 20-year esthetician. She has mature clients who are they're already doing lasers. They're doing microneedling. So for her, of course, it's a big investment. So she has to be careful, making sure it's smart for her business. But she knows her clientele and the clientele she's going to bring are the referrals that she's going to get are going to be Hydrofacial clients. For us in the beginning, for the first 2 months of business, we had facial clients, right? And then you started upgrading those people. We started finding your dream clientele, and those are the ones that switched over to Hydrofacial. But those beginning facial clients that were there for a reasonably priced facial, they're not the ones who upgraded, right? And that's why we started closing the door to them and opening up to people who were looking for more treatment-based services and products. Yeah,
and I want to talk about the fear of opening your business and not having that confidence, and when we're thinking about devices and having fear of like not having enough, because that was something that I struggled with in the beginning, is I didn't have confidence, and clients could feel that because I was like, well, do they even like the experience? Do they like it? But I did find ways in the treatment room to add value. So like, you don't have to have every fancy device, guys. Like your hands, I always say, are your biggest asset to your business. And you don't have to invest in these crazy devices, crazy machines. Like work with what you got. At first, my advanced treatment was a dermaplaning treatment and people felt amazing. I added extra massage, like facial massage, and I just created the perfect experience so that people would come back. And I was like, I hate discounts, guys. If you know me, I hate discounts, but like add value to your services. So if somebody comes in and they're like, oh, I'm feeling dull today. And at that time, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to give you dermaplaning. And they're like, they felt so special. They felt so good walking out the door. But that's a huge fear that I struggled with, was not having confidence and fear that I didn't have enough. And that like feeds and fuels your clients. And you want to be strong, confident, and build off your services, because your ride or dies. I have so many clients that like are still with me and that were with me in the beginning, that understood the value, and that I was like, hey, my goal is to invest in Hydrofacial. Would you be interested? And they grew with me. That's okay to grow with your clients.
In the beginning, it's important to over deliver. And that's what we did really well, is we over delivered to clients. So if you're nervous about starting the business and clients being happy and what you could offer with your facial, just over deliver. Give the works, because if your clients are coming from a med spa, or I don't know, on the cheaper end, say a Massage Envy or something on the lower end, over deliver. So if you set your prices at a comfortable $125, just getting going, give a $165 facial worth of time and investment and care into your clients. If that's a longer consultation, if that's walking them through their entire skincare regimen, if it's having them send you everything they're using and you don't even sell them anything, but you work through them, be that skin coach that people are looking for. And in the beginning, if you over deliver, clients will keep coming back. And that's if you can have any confidence, just be confident that you can over deliver as an esthetician. And there's a lot of ways to do that by adding more value.
And I'm going to talk about our last fear, third fear, is having too high of prices. That's a huge fear that I struggled with in the beginning. I was like, I'm not worth $150 a facial. And get that out of your head, guys. It's so crazy to me that like we are experts. We went to school for this. We have supplies, consumables, we have rent. Like honestly, the world is changing and our prices should reflect our worth. And you will actually attract the right clientele when your prices are higher. If I had dirt cheap prices like I did the first 2 months of my business, I would have built like a business where I'm in 5 days a week doing 7 facials a day for $100 and
still making less than what we are now.
Yeah. And like truthfully, and not to be like prideful, but I make way more than I ever did before because my prices are higher and I have high value clients that understand, and it's relational, not transactional. Truthfully, every single one of my clients I have a connection with and they just value me, they respect me, and I respect them too. Like it's a mutual understanding. And again, I add value in my services all the time. Like it's not about like charging high and you never give. Like I don't believe in that. Like I believe in a mutual respect, and that's me always thinking of my clients, always putting them first. And if they need a dermaplaning, here you go today. Like it's on me.
We want our clients still to go, oh, like if somebody goes, oh, you get hydrofacials from so-and-so, how much is it? We want them to say it's only $265. It's only $325 because they still see that you're worth more than that. If your prices went up because of what you offer to them and the results that they get, they still would tell people, oh, they wouldn't go, oh, she's kind of pricey. They would say, no, she's only this. And you know what I get out of it? I get somebody that I can text anytime I have questions about my product lines, anything that I need help with, anytime my skin changes, I have this skin coach that walks me through whatever I need. So instead of them seeing you as a high price and telling people she's some kind of expensive provider, they can tell their friends, oh, she's only $325. And do you know what I get for $325?
But I also think it's the way that your clients explain to other people. Like it doesn't, like my clients are always so happy to share like who I am and who I am as a provider. And don't be like snaky, of course. Like you have to like go into it and don't be like, oh yeah, I charge a $350. Like, of course I do. Like you have to like go into it with humility and just knowing your worth. And I think that's something that my clients really value about me, and why they talk so highly of me to other clients is because of each appointment. It's literally an experience. Like truthfully, like I cannot tell you, like I can't even remember the last time I had a bad first client because of my pricing. Like truthfully, you get like such a good clientele that is just gold. Yeah,
people come into it really serious when your prices are higher, and that could go from any jumps of steps. I mean, right now, we have $350 services, and yes, we get amazing clients from them. But in the beginning, if you're just starting, I think even for us, $135 facial, it's really the $100 and below is where you get people who it's just an easy, like they got $100 for their birthday, right? Where when you're past that $100 point, people see it a little bit different. When you start to add some numbers at the end of that 100, they come in there a little bit more serious. They're coming in there looking for results. They're coming in there respecting and trusting your expertise. And I think that $135 is, across the U.S. It feels like a pretty good place to start out with. But if you can add more value, then raise the price up more, and you're gonna move from a different clientele. You don't want to be competing with anybody that's a chain. Any chain, out here, I'm not to bash High Skin. They're a chain out here, and they offer similar services for a lot cheaper. We're not here to compete with them. Let them take the clientele who wants that. Don't try to compete with people who are looking for that clientele. You're looking for people who are moving up from that went to High Skin and was like, yeah, I got a good facial. High Skin is one of those places that has like 12 chairs in the room. You get a facial next to 6 other people at the same time, and people are happy and they get good results there. People get their facials there every single month. But don't compete with them. They can have a different business model. They can pay their employees $15 $10 an hour.
With the big guys.
Yeah,
that
you
have like
yeah.
thousands of dollars to spend on marketing each month. Like it's totally
and are
different.
turning through clients a lot
Yes.
quicker than what you are.
They're
You can
like
take
in
a
and
client,
out.
you want a client that's going to stick with you for the next 5 years, who's going to have a baby and their daughter's going to come see you when they're 13 years old.
And if you have the fear of, I want to touch on something really quick. This is kind of side topic, but if you have the fear of not getting clients in the door, friends and family, guys, get somebody on the street. Literally, before and afters are huge,
Yep.
and a mix of before and afters, selling the experience, your treatment room, literally everything. Gather that all and find ways that you can get people in the room, even in the door, even if it means in the beginning you're doing it for free, getting your before and afters,
Fight
guys.
for it, yeah.
Fight for it. It's literally blood, sweat, and tears. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think
we speed ran this podcast. We've had some coffee, but also this is our second podcast of the day, and I think we're just feeling excited. So I hope you guys are able to catch up with everything. Victoria doesn't normally speak this fast, and you've crushed it, by the way, because normally when you speak fast, you get a little like you like, because you try to keep up with me, but today you were just
the coffee.
you were just keeping right.
It
You were
is 12 p.m. Usually we need to shoot our podcast earlier.
Yeah, see, clearly Victoria crushes. I hope you guys thought Victoria crushed as much as I thought she crushed, but I hope you don't have to slow down this episode. Normally, I think you could speed up some of the conversations. This one, you might have to do a 0.5 speed to try to keep up with us. But thank you so much for watching these podcasts. As usual, make sure you like this video. It helps the algorithm push this podcast out to more people. Comment if you have any questions on anything we talked about today. But please, please, please subscribe to the channel so you can see all the podcasts that come out, all the amazing guest episodes that come out. And join the Patreon community. Will be linked down below. But if not, we will see you guys in the next episode.